Okay, interview with Pops.
All right, hi friends. So I want to tell you guys of an experience I had when we were up at Davis Lake camping, and that video is going to be coming out soon. I don't know if that's before this one or after this one, but soon. So we had been gifted a FLIR by a friend, and which thank you very much if that friend is watching. So when we were camping up at Davis Lake in Ferry County, I was middle of the day, mid-afternoon. I was sitting there, had out my manual and got the FLIR out, and I'm starting to learn it. And it's a very simple thing to operate, but I had not operated it, so I was just trying to learn. So it took me a week to finally tell my wife this story, and I just got done telling my son today, but it just really messed with my mind. So here goes. I'll do the best I can. So middle of the afternoon, I'm at the picnic table playing with settings, the heat settings of the FLIR. It had, when it was given to us, it was in black hot mode. I had gotten it over to white hot mode, and I'm sitting there, and now that I finally knew what the mode button was, sitting there, and I'm, lift it up to look at the trees, and our campsite was about 50 feet to the next campsite where our neighbor had their trailer, a truck, and some motorcycles and their camp stuff. So I thought, I'll see what the heat signature is, looking through a few trees and some of the underbrush at about, I'm saying this was probably 35, 40 feet away, the thing that there was a tree, main tree, and then brush. So I lift this up and I'm looking, and I'm like, I can't be seeing what I'm seeing. It starts to mess with my mind. So I bring the FLIR down, and all I see is a tree, the brush, and the neighbor's trailer and truck. And I'm like, okay, bring it up again. And what I'm seeing is a grayed out, a gray shadowy figure that looks humanoid. And I've got heat where the face would be, and I've got heat where hands would be, where they're beside the body. And I'm looking at this going, well, this makes no sense. It's not computing. It's not making any sense in my brain, because when I pull the FLIR down, all I see is a tree, brush, and the trailer and a truck behind it. And I was expecting to see a cold tree with like a hot or warm vehicle behind it. So I do this a couple times, and every time there is like a whited out face, face area, heat on like hands, and I'm seeing this grayed colored shape. And it's just starting to really mess with my mind. I can't be seeing what I think I'm seeing. It makes no sense. And we're talking 35, 40 feet from the picnic table, midday. Haven't heard anything, haven't smelled anything. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I finish my settings, and I finally end on a setting that's called iron, with this like red hot iron. So it's orange and yellow. But anyway, so I didn't look back at that anymore. I was looking at other trees and like our truck. And at this time, I didn't know how simple it was to take a picture. I wish I had. All you gotta do is just push the little camera button, just one little click, and I would have had a picture. I did not know that at that time. I was still learning, playing, practicing. No clue. So after telling my wife yesterday and my son today, I was showing my son other settings and having him take some pictures of me and different settings. And it didn't really dawn on me, but our dog, his kennel's right there, her yard. So I put it back to white hot. I'm looking through this at our dog, and it's weird that, so she, a dog has fur, and supposedly a Bigfoot would have fur, or, a hairy coat. So she looked like what I was seeing up at Davis Lake. Her body was all grayed, like a solid kind of a grayish color, with her head, her face area, being a brighter white. So she looked very similar on this, other than, the shape of a dog, but she looked very similar to what I saw up at Davis Lake. So the only thing I can conclude is I saw something up at Davis Lake through this that made no sense, but appeared to be humanoid. And I guess the biggest part that's messing with my brain, I'm looking for a flesh and blood being that lives in the woods. Now, we've watched other videos, lots of other people. There's lots of theories, different dimensions, paranormal type stuff, frequencies. So I don't know enough about all that. I want a flesh and blood encounter, sighting. But I think I had a sighting through this of a being that I can't explain. So that's my story. And
are you able to relate the size of what you were seeing?
I'd have to say 7 or 8 feet tall.
So you had said seeing the dog was a good resemblance, but you only mean in
the colors I was seeing,
not the height,
not in the mass. This thing had, to me, I would picture like a person being in a ghillie suit. That's the closest that I think I would relate this experience to. But at around a 7 or 8 foot height,
masking in the tree,
standing in front of the tree, not beside it, not behind it, just on this, clear as a heat signature, standing in front of the tree.
And to think I was sitting right there at that picnic table with you.
No, you were in the camper.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you were making lunch, but you were in the camper, and this was really messing with me, and it just like took my breath away, and I didn't know what to say. It took me a week of this going through my head before I finally could talk about it.
Wow.
Just because it messed with me that much, and I don't want to just be willy-nilly. But this happened.
Well, and the way our minds are set up, we automatically go to find something recognizable in what we're seeing.
Yes.
And when you laid eyes on it,
it made no sense that a being was in front of a tree, 35 feet or so in front of me, standing there, looking at us in camp, looking at me, and I couldn't see eyeballs, or I just saw like it was a whitish because this was on white hot. It was just a whitish heat of a face, whitish, and it's like I could see the V of like if someone just was doing this beside their body.
And you know, I felt completely comfortable the entire time we were there.
Yeah, I had no hair on the back of my neck.
No odors.
No feeling of fear. Didn't hear nothing. Didn't smell nothing.
Well, we did hear something.
But that
you were hearing a click, click sound.
I think that was later that evening.
Yeah.
But whenever that was, but wasn't at that time.
And you've heard that before in other
area. I don't know if it was Slate Creek or Harvey Creek where I thought I heard something similar. The only thing I can think of is like tongue clicks. And we heard that in the trees on the opposite side of the campground, on the other side of like the road in.
Right.
I don't know that.
Wow.
So I wanted to get this on camera.
Yeah.
I wanted to share with you guys. We want to keep this, real relationship and keep this real. But it took me a while to digest this, to talk about it, because this happened. It was real, but to have something be there in a heat signature, but not be there with your eyes, and that's one of our senses, it made no sense to me.
Right. And how much is here that we don't see?
Yeah, we don't know.
Probably a whole heck of a lot.
Well, yeah, because if things are infrared, we don't see whatever frequency range or however that works with eyeballs that we see. There's a scale above it and below it, which is what other things help us to see. Game cameras, infrared, night vision.
This is completely off topic, but the thing that my mind's going to is when the aurora lights.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it with my naked eye, but when I came out with the camera.
And then you took pictures.
When I put it with the computer, I was able to see the color differentiation.
You could see the purples or greens or whatever. But being outside looking in the sky, you couldn't see it. And we heard a lot of people say that.
Yeah, so
what frequencies, what differences are there?
I'm so curious.
So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe. It's free. And leave a happy comment.
Yeah, we really appreciate.
Yes, we appreciate
those
you
happy
guys.
Comments and you guys being the eyes.
Yeah, we've
had some.
We have some other follow-ups to do on our gifting station. We're trying to put some pieces together.
Yeah.
People have seen other things at our gifting station that we didn't catch, so we're also working on that.
We're trying to get up to speed, you guys.
Trying to get up to speed.
Thanks for coming along.
Thank you, guys.